Want to play a game?
Let's play a game.
All right. So you heard our guy talking about the CMS group on Facebook catching steam.
Okay.
And I'm sure you are completely oblivious to this.
I really am oblivious to it. I probably look at it maybe once every other week, if that.
You wouldn't even be able to see this because it's a closed group.
Okay.
It's only available to people that are on Facebook and have joined the group.
Well, I see the discussion on there.
You see the CMS page.
Okay.
But in the page, there's a group.
Yeah.
And you would not have access to the group unless you've friended it with some account.
Well, let me take a look.
All right.
Let me see if I'm seeing what you're saying that I'm not seeing.
Okay.
Let me see here. Just because I haven't looked at this, so I have no idea. Loading the page, since I'm such a big Facebook fan.
Because inside the group, it's kind of an open forum where all the fans can really fucking ask questions and lots of music discussion, lots of pussy discussion, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. What I'm seeing currently is the first topic up there is what is everyone's favorite metal album of all time? Mine is Back in Black.
Maybe you can see it.
I am looking at it.
Oh, shit. You have a secret account. Son of a bitch.
Not really. It's just the one I've always had through the CMS Facebook thing, yeah.
It's the one tied. Oh, you know why you can see it? Because that account is tied to the admin.
Right.
Okay, so you can see it. Okay. So then you probably didn't look at it.
No, I have not looked at this in like a couple of weeks.
Right? But there was a topic that I put in here purposely so that we could have some fun with
okay.
this. The topic was what is your favorite part of the CMS and what do you like the least?
Okay.
Did you see this?
I did not.
Would you like to hear what people like and dislike about us?
Well, I'm sure that there's probably some interesting things to be said, but yeah, go ahead.
All right. I will read you some of them and we can comment along the way.
All right.
All right. We have Stein Dover, who says, I like when you guys talk about Eddie Trunk's nonsense. That's a lot of fun segments.
Okay, so they like when we are beating down on somebody.
Yeah, or at least Eddie Trunk.
Well, whether it's Eddie Trunk or anybody else, I'm sure that our witty commentary or our disdain for just the self-grandizing of, I'm the guy who did this and I did that and, But go ahead.
All right, next guy, Chris Powell. My favorite part is when Neely tries to make excuses for why Don Dawkins sucks so bad.
Well, I don't need to make an excuse. It's just that I don't understand it because I've known Don for a quarter of a century. Right. And I've been there many, many times.
Sure.
And the things that people say online are so far-fetched from the truth that it's just like, where did you get that? Especially at events that I've been at.
I know.
And I see stuff and we go, he knocked this stuff out of my mom's hand and he punched her in the face. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I will be going to see Dawkins in 2 weeks.
Right.
And I will give a real review of the show.
Okay.
I actually spoke with John Levin this week. He's hooking me up.
Nice.
I will be seeing the band and hanging out with the band for a little bit.
Sure.
On the 21st. So there. Here, what I like the least is when Neely is not there and Chris brings his friends in to co-host. Those shows are non-listenable.
Well, you know what? Again, and I'm guilty of this myself. Like, I do listen to some podcasts. One of my favorite to listen to just from a standpoint of social or political commentary is Mark Levin.
Yeah, sure.
And he takes time off, maybe gets sick or he's got other events to attend to or whatever, and they bring in a fill-in guest or fill-in host. Mm-hmm. And I'll listen to them, but it's not what I want to hear.
Right.
Because I'm looking to hear Mark Levin. I'm not looking to hear the guy from Philadelphia or the guy from,
Exactly.
South Florida or wherever it is that they come from. I'll listen to it and go, yeah, that was okay, but that's not what I tuned in for.
And I think we've been very clear when you're away that I've always said that I've always called them off shows. I've never called them, the same thing.
Right.
I've always prefaced it as this is not what we normally do.
And that's true. And in a way, I feel good that people look forward to hearing you and I.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. and that's cool. And I appreciate that. I just take that as a compliment. And, but the fact is, and this is the fact, is that regardless if I'm here or you're here, because you're here more often than me, because you don't travel and things that I do,
Right.
but we give them live content, whether it's the two of us or not.
Yeah, it's a conscious decision. I mean, when you were in NAMM, I could have easily taken the
Yeah,
weekend
you
off.
could have taken the week off, but I was sort of involved with the show because I did call in. But the fact is that our concern, and mostly yours more than mine, is that I don't want to lose the audience. So even if it's not the both of us, at least they're going to get a live show.
Yeah, I'm always panicked at the end of the year when we take, when we're gone for 3 weeks. When we take the 2 weeks off and we literally go 3 weeks between shows, I'm always like, oh man, I hope people fucking come back.
Right, of course.
But what it stems from is me and you have been doing this so long now that we've seen how it plays. And every show seems to be the same way. They come out gangbusters, on schedule, every week, whatever, and then they slowly start to fade. Then I'm not going to do it this week. Well, I'm going to do it Tuesday instead of Saturday. Well, right. I'm not going to, it slowly works itself away until no one gives a fuck anymore. And we've built this thing that obviously people like. And I was like, look, even if it's a show they don't like, somebody likes it and we're going to give them something.
Yes.
And I think that's the way we have to do it.
Okay.
I honestly do think that. All right, here's another one. Greg Spicoli Renault says, my favorite is all the music talk. You guys make it interesting and comical, even if I don't like the artist being discussed or who it is. Yeah?
Well, that just comes from being an old guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you and I had the good fortune of being teenagers into our 20s, 30s, 40s, during the heyday of a lot of these bands. And not only that, but I started this show 24 years ago based on that specific genre, which is why it's called the Classic Metal Show, because I wanted to represent that era of music because it meant so much to me. Now, obviously, we've morphed into more of a commentary or a talk show, but without those changes, we would have died off a long time ago.
Sure, absolutely.
We've got our friends, Hairball John, who's gone through various metamorphoses from the hairball thing where he was really heavily concentrated on the hair bands.
Sure.
And that went away, and then he tried to do this whole vinyl side. And I'm not picking on Hairball John. Trust me, I'm not doing that. I'm just using him as an example.
Sure.
And then he tried to do the whole vinyl side thing. He did that for a short time, and that kind of went away. And then, people dabble.
Yeah.
And it goes away, and the thing is that you got to change.
Yeah.
Even we've changed. Even since we became a talk show type format, we've changed a lot of things because we used to do little bits all the time, and we used to kind of revisit some things. But, we've more or less developed into, and I'm going to just use your analogy, two dudes hanging out at a bar just talking about life in general.
Yeah.
Whether it's politics or social issues or dating or music or, just fucked up shit in the media or movies or documentaries or whatever. And that seems to resonate with a lot of people. So whatever your reason for tuning in, you might be a fan of our music talk. And the only reason we can talk as fluently about that as we do is because both of us are fans. We've been around for 30 plus years, and we have a lot of insight and thoughts on it. But, it doesn't make us right. It's just our opinion.
Exactly. and we know a lot of the people too. Which
that is
helps
true as well. That is true.
But all right, we'll go back to him. I can do without the politics, but it is your show, and you can do what you want. All in all, I appreciate you guys doing what you do. So there you go. That's Spicoli Renault.
Right. Well, obviously the politics is something that we all should be concerned about or involved with in some regard. It doesn't have to dominate your life. It does not dominate my life. But, you know, we are in an era where we are living in what I want to consider kind of precarious times.
End of days.
It is. It really is. It's just the ridiculousness of the things that go on in our society. And you know, I love this country. You know, it's the greatest country in the world as far as I'm concerned. I know people will argue with that, and that's fine. They're entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, they're allowed to be wrong.
But when I see so many ridiculous premises out there and people who are so ignorant and uninformed about just things in general, it's kind of a little bit disconcerting.
Right.
You know, especially with these independent, and I'm going to use a term that I've seen a lot of on like YouTube, the creators, the content creators who take the time out to go out into the public or go to these rallies or go to these protests or go to various things and talk to people and say, hey, why are you here? Or why do you support this? And people just look at them and they go, because, you know, I did this last week, but it's just like, let's just take Trump because he's a hot button topic and he's the president. It's just like, because he's a dick. Okay. Why don't you like Trump? Because he's a turd.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that?
Yeah, they have nothing.
Nothing. It's just, well, you know, I was watching some of the, I can't remember this kid's name. It always escapes me, but I was watching some of his videos today where he you know, he's ballsy. He goes out there. He's one of the InfoWar guys.
Okay.
And he goes out there to these, you know, these rallies and asks people why they're there. Why are you here? What do you support? You know, what are you protesting?
Yeah.
You know, he's non-confrontational. He's not getting in their face. And, you know, he's just like, why are you here? What are you doing? You know, and people just...
You racist, get out of here.
Well, yeah, and a lot of that does go on. But the thing is the more he questions them, they just have nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a problem. And these people are voters. And then you just like, why are you here? Because Trump's a dick. Oh, okay. That's it? Well, what about his policies? Fuck Trump.
That's why you got the rise of AOC, man.
I know. And the one, I was watching some of those today, which made me kind of laugh.
Yeah.
Because he was talking to some people out at these rallies, these women's rights rallies and things, and asking them, you know, why they're there. And because I hate Trump. You know, it's just, okay, why? Because he grabs women by the pussies.
Yeah.
Really? Does he grab women? And you know what? The thing is that made me go back and revisit that whole grab them by the pussy thing.
Yeah.
And if you listen to it in context, it's something that you and I both have experienced as far as knowing people who are popular entertainers. And what Trump was saying is when you rise to a level of a certain popularity or stardom, women will throw themselves at you and let you do anything to them, even grab them by the pussy.
Pussy's free with popularity.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, if I'm Gene Simmons or if I'm Mick Jagger or if I'm Jimmy Page or any one of those guys who listen to that comment, I can't imagine one of them refuting that. Yeah. When I was riding high in Led Zeppelin, women would come up to me, and if I wanted to, I could grab them by the pussy, and they would not, complain.
You didn't see any male celebrities that are older celebrities denouncing that one.
No, not at all, because it's true. even in my minor celebrity, and believe me, I go out to places, I'm at places, people might recognize me, and if I wanted to be a lech, and make some kind of inappropriate advance on certain women who have basically made it very known that they were very interested. I could have easily done that and got away with it.
Sure.
Easily. And I'm just some dude who does a show on a Saturday night. But the thing is I'm associated with somebody or something that they like. And so they're willing to just give it up for you.
I've seen it with you at Dawkins shows.
Absolutely.
Where the chick will come up to you and just be all over you.
Yeah.
And then she'll ask you, well, what do you do?
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, of course.
No, you are. She's willing to suck your dick because she saw you walk in with Mick or Don.
Right, exactly. But that's exactly the point he was making. It's just like, as a celebrity, once some women, not all, but when some women, realize that you're on a, popular or famous or whatever, they're more likely to allow you certain liberties that they would not allow anyone else to have. And that's it. That was the point he was making. Not that I'm dredging all this up, but it's just ridiculous. But when he goes out and talks to these people, they're just all bent out of shape because he violates women and grabs them by the pussy.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't say that. He was just saying that women will allow famous people to do that.
Right.
That's all he said.
It's funny.
It's ridiculous. But go ahead and move on.
All right, next one. Brian Liddell. Favorite is the music talk, mostly when making fun of bad performances, bands, or band members.
Okay.
Also like making fun of Trunk and other podcasts.
All right.
Talking about random lists like top albums of all time, how much bands make, etc. I like least the politics and complaining about SJWs and censoring.
Okay.
I hear and read that everywhere, and I am bored to death with it, so I skip all of those segments.
I gotcha.
I never listen to the interviews either, but mainly because I don't care about what random band members have to say.
Well, and the thing is we've realized for literally years that the interview segments for this show are the least popular.
That's why we just pop them up whenever we do them during the week. They are strictly now to get blabbermouth love.
Right.
Honestly.
That is a really niche thing for this show, and the really hardcore people who seek that kind of stuff out will listen to it.
Yeah.
But our audience just wants the buffoonery that we bring every Saturday.
Mm-hmm. But we'll still do it because we like the bands we want
to
to promote.
Of course.
Let's see. Steve Gutierrez. I dig the Judge Judy theme and band gossiping, but I usually skip the band interviews.
Okay.
Have the people you interview help you Judge Judy some news or ask them bizarre questions.
Right.
Oh, no, we're not going to do that.
Well, we actually did kind of do that a little bit, the whole bizarre question stuff.
Yeah, we've done it from time to time.
Yeah, we've goofed on things, years ago. We kind of goofed on, the Rev and Talking Metal and made kind of goofy comments about stuff like that.
And I used to ask those weird questions of the foreign bands.
Yeah, of course. When you walk in and go down, is up the same as down? And, that kind of stuff. We kind of did that a little bit, but it wasn't that, it didn't really catch on. That it wasn't a big deal or it wasn't a popular segment for us.
Yeah, because it was still interviews that nobody cared
about.
Yeah,
nobody cared.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Lisa V says, my favorite is the new live video footage of you guys.
Okay.
Least favorite, I wish you could do more interviews.
Wow, really?
Oh, I also like when you guys talk about Eddie Trunk.
Okay. Well, see, Eddie gets under people's skin.
Yeah.
I mean, because just the overinflated ego and people just kind of cringe at that, because if you and I came on here every Saturday and just talked about how great we were and how groundbreaking we were, our people would tune out eventually.
Yeah, they'd be done.
Yeah.
But, dude, how many more interviews can we possibly do?
Yeah, I mean, I know you do at least 4 to 5 a week, and I get one randomly just because of my availability.
Yeah, I mean, we're literally pumping out, I would say, 15 to 20 a month.
Right.
That's as much as we can do. I'm interviewing. I think I have 2 scheduled for like next week. I know Ripper's one of them. I don't remember who Wednesday 13.
Right.
I'm doing 2 interviews next week so far. I don't know what to tell you there, Lisa. I don't think I can do any more. Because I have to stop doing my regular job to do these interviews.
Well, again, she must be one of those really hardcore music people that really enjoy, the insight from a musician's perspective, perhaps.
Yeah. Let's see here. Here's another one. Mark Miller, your good friend Mark Miller.
Right.
The balance of the show is pretty damn good. You give some segments breathing space. It's good not to expect Indian stories every week.
Yeah, we understand the whole burnout factor. Mm-hmm. So if you just beat that horse every week, it gets old and it's not special anymore. That's why we don't do Judge Aiken every single week. Yeah, Judge Aiken is fun for me. I love it. I know you enjoy it. But if we did it every single week, it would just get old.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have to space those things out, and especially when you haven't done it in a while, then it becomes fun because it kind of reignites that fire again.
Exactly. Then it's fun for us too. If we do it every week, we're bored with it.
I get a good laugh out of that, and if I do come up with some good Indian tales, I'm more than willing to share that. But if again he gets it, if it's a weekly diet, it's just like, this is old.
Believe me, about a year ago, every time you would bring up the Confederate flag, I wanted to shoot myself in the fucking face because it was every week for about 6 months, and it was just because it was what was going on in the country.
And that kind of goes back to a discussion we had last week. What drives that narrative? See, we haven't heard anything about the Confederate flag in months.
Yeah, and that's been great.
Well, my point is, it's no longer the hot topic anymore.
Exactly. You could bring the General Lee back to TV.
Yeah,
now.
you could have a guy riding around town in a big pickup truck with a Confederate flag blowing off the back, and no one will give it any thought about it. But boy, 6 months ago to a year ago, it was just like, racist. Look at him. He's a white supremacist. But today, it's just like you see that, and you're just like, yeah, what the fuck, whatever.
Every story was that, and it was like, But yeah, you're right, and he's right. I mean, that's why we do stuff for a little while, and then we venture away from it for a while, and then when it comes back, it's either good or it's not. But
right.
Let's see. I can't hear the music as a podcaster, but when you guys talk about bands or interview bands, I check them out on iTunes. Night Flight Orchestra I discovered from you guys.
Yep.
Let us podcasters know who's out there playing great songs. Okay.
All right. Well, you'll just have to listen to the show live if you want to actually hear the tunes. But just due to, obviously, the restrictions in licensing, we cannot release the music portion with our podcast because we just don't have the wherewithal to do that.
Yep. Let's see here. Steve Wright. I like pretty much everything, including the political stuff. The more irrelevant, the better. Maybe my favorite is Judge Aiken and those Happy Time with Harry segments.
Well, yeah, that was a fluke that we did the whole Happy Time with Harry thing and the Judge Aiken thing. That just sort of was. I'm going to use a Chris Aikenism here. That was just an organic thing.
Yeah,
that just happened to kind of develop, and it was just like, yeah, let's make a segment out of that. Mm-hmm. Let's listen to Chris's ridiculous ruling on how he would handle things differently than the actual judicial system in this country, where people get away with a lot of shit.
Right. Too funny. Dan Pate, favorites, Indian Tales, Judge Aiken, past stories of relationships, concert experiences, etc. Also, music talk about current events. Least favorite, some of the callers bringing the show down by not being on topic.
Well, yeah, I'll agree with that.
I'll agree fully on that one, too. Sometimes I'm sitting here and I'm like cringing. Now that you can see me, I'm going to make a sign that just says hang up.
Click. Just have a big sign that just says click on it.
Yeah. I'm just going to hold it up so that you hang up on these fucks.
Yeah.
It's goddamn. I mean, I hate the callers anyway. Sometimes I think that's why you leave them on. because I'm just getting more and more crazy about them, but that's okay.
Right.
Let's see here. Stephen P. Mayer Jr. Favorite part, Judge Aiken and Indian Tales. Least favorite, nothing. Look at us, we're perfect.
Wow, he loves everything about the show.
Yeah. Steve Rice, favorite part is Wendell's stories, especially Indian Tales.
See, that's the thing that makes me laugh. There are certain people out there, just a handful of them, that like to refer to me by my first name.
Wendell.
Yeah, because I always get this feeling that they think that there's in some elite club that they can call me by my first name. Huh. And it's like they know me better than everyone else.
You're all buddies.
Yeah, I know, but that always makes me laugh. And I don't care that you do that. I mean, that's my name.
Sure.
I started this show 24 years ago because I thought, you can't just go on the radio as a DJ. This is Wendell Neely with you. So I thought my last name was pretty cool, and it kind of fit in with the whole genre, the whole Van Halen or Dokken or Slaughter or anybody that used their last name as their brand, as it were.
Right.
So I just kind of followed suit, and even growing up through high school and junior high school, a lot of people would call me that. Hey, Neely. That's what they would call me. And so that's just how it became. Whether you want to call me by my first name or not, I don't really give a shit. But I find it funny that there's certain people out there who, take the effort to do that, because now it's just like, I'm an elitist because I know his first name.
Yeah. And it's weird because I hate when people call me just by my last name.
Right.
I can't stand that. But I only started using my full name because of when I was on MMS.
Right.
When I first came on MMS, they wanted me to be the gatekeeper.
Yeah, I remember that. The Warlock and the Gatekeeper. It's like, what is this? Is this an episode of Ghostbusters?
Yeah, and I just was like, nah, I'm not going to be the gatekeeper.
Right.
I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to say my name, and that's who I fucking am.
Yeah.
And that's how I just started being Chris Aiken on the radio. And I've never used a moniker other than my name, because that drove me crazy from that first week. They're like, well, you could be the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to be the gatekeeper. I'm going to be Chris Aiken.
Right.
That's it. Let's go through a couple more of these.
All right.
Take a break. Andrew Tonkin, I love how different it is every week. Short, simple. That's good.
The thing is, and what people don't understand about this, and we've said it before, this show is not planned out
at all.
There is no planning whatsoever. None. In fact, I turned this mic on, or I came up to the studio 30 minutes before the show.
Right.
I had nothing planned. Nothing.
Right.
And it becomes different because it's just like, well, what the fuck am I going to do next? Right. And the thing is that sometimes the fans do have some input, because we do get emails through the Classic Metal Show request email.
Sure.
And they do send in topics. I do look at topics through the week, but I don't know if I'm going to actually tackle them or not.
Sure.
So, they're there, but I don't even know if it's going to make the show or not. It's just like, okay, if I need to grab something real quick and I think that it's worthy, I'll bring it to the table. And Chris will tell you that 98% of the time I steer the ship.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever is brought up on this show, it's my choice to do that. Chris basically will just follow suit and, become part of whatever it is that we decide to talk about. He
has on anything.
He has no idea where the show's going to go.
Yeah, and it's weird because this is one of the very few weeks that I actually had some stuff that I wanted to do. I sent you the one.
Yes, you did.
And this was one I wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
And the other, which I haven't sent you yet.
On conversely, I wasn't aware that you wanted to do this.
Oh, no, I didn't tell you. I just was like, I sent you one just because I needed you to have the article.
And to be honest with you, I haven't even looked at what it is.
Well, you'll like it. It's the combination of social justice warriorism.
Oh, well, we better not
do
that, because we got a fan out there who doesn't enjoy that stuff.
Yeah,
but
well, You'll like it. It's a band that lost their record deal and their tour and their record, and their band broke up because they said the word nigger in a private post.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I will enjoy that because
You'll
I
love this.
am the resident racist.
You are, of course.
Yeah.
But I and then the other one is kind of rehashing last week, which we'll get to, is Metallica released the audio from the Cleveland show.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I wanted to bring to the table them doing the awful cover of Michael Stanley Band.
Oh, okay. Good.
And that social justice bullshit, or that, where's the youth?
Yeah.
Where's the old people? And I have all that for you. I just haven't sent it yet.
All right. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So it's a rare week that I have like stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you do because I haven't done shit today.
Nice. All right, here's a couple more here. There's a few more and then we'll get done with this.
All right. That's fine.
Dominic Leake, I love the Vince Neil shows.
All right.
When I do the
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Those are funny. Trond Johnson, I like it when it's about music. I could do without the politics, but all in all, I enjoy the show. Keep it up.
Okay.
Marcus Glinda, Don Dokken interview. I'm not sure if that's a like or a dislike.
I'm gonna assume that it's a like only because people do seem to enjoy Don's participation in the show because he really does open up and talk, and really just as himself.
Sure.
And he says stuff that you would never hear him say on anybody else's interviews, and he hangs with us. He's one of the boys.
Yep, he is. Well, and that's where, say what you want. People can say we do too much doc and whatever. And I'll be the first one to admit I think sometimes we do too much doc, and it's it's part of the nature of it. But that being said, Don is literally just one of us. Neither one of us thinks of him as, hey, here comes rock star, rock legend with 40 million sold. It's Don Dokken.
Yeah, of course.
Both of us are like, hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, but it's fun because you just never know what he's going to do or say.
Yeah, because he's comfortable with us.
Yeah, and he's got a really great sense of humor.
He does. He's fun, But anyway, that's his. CJ Dan, favorite part. It's free.
Well, okay. Let's put it behind a paywall immediate, Chris.
Yeah, where's my Patreon page?
Yeah, let's get that paywall up.
That's right.
Let's give them 5 minutes of a segment, and then you'll have to pay for the rest.
That's right. Only $2 a minute after the first 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Least favorite, none. Can't complain about free entertainment.
Well,
Hail, kill.
Well, there you go. There's a guy who gets it.
No. And then last on this list, we have Paul Rushenko. Says, like stories of women. Stories of women, I guess that's probably a typo. Stories of women and what a pain in the ass they are. Okay. Dislike John co-hosting when Neely's not there.
Well, again, it's at least you're getting live content.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have the good fortune of having a stable of reliant co-host,
Right.
because if you took the week off, I just don't have that selection. I just don't have the ability to have somebody. Now I've had Kim from Chicago here a few times, and I thought she did a really good job as a co-host. But the last few times that there's been an opportunity, she's always been unavailable. I've got other things to do. I'm going to be out of town that weekend. I got blah, 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 blah. And, I kind of live out in a remote area, and it's kind of tough for people to make the trek
Sure.
out to be here to do this. So I don't have the fortune of being able to do that, but I don't mind doing a show with a guest co-host. But
Sure.
I just, I'm just not as established in, to where I have somebody who could actually step up to the mic and actually be good at it.
Your stand-in should probably be now Bandian.
Yeah, but the thing is Bob isn't always available either. Bob did co-host with me one Saturday, and he did a pretty good job. But Bob's got a life too. He's got things going on, and I know Bob would step up if he had the time and availability to do it.
Sure. Be fun to hear you, him, and Toby just cutting up. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Toby's a character as well.
Yeah, I would love to have Toby become more of a character on the show.
Yeah, but Toby, he's a family man. He's got the kids. He's got the wife. He's got other things going on.
Mm-hmm.
And, the luxury, and I'm going to call it a luxury because to me it is,
Yeah.
you and I have our freedom.
Oh, yeah.
We can do whatever the fuck we want to do whenever we want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, that's what we've got for the comments. I thought you would find that interesting.
It is interesting, but to everybody's got their own likes and dislikes, and but I'm just glad people are listening for whatever reason. If they like the Eddie Trunk bashing, or the music talk, or the social commentary, or the goofy segments we do, Happy Time with Harry, or Judge Aiken, or the Indian Tales, or whatever.
Yeah.
I appreciate that as well, but everybody's got their own thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I think on one hand, people think because we asked them and they offer their dislikes, like we're going to change something.
I don't know that there's anything to do. I mean, the show just flows the way it flows. There's no preconceived planning done at all. None.
And that's why we couldn't change it, because the only way we could change it would be to start planning shit.
Yeah. And we're an hour and 25 minutes into the show. And to be honest with you, I have no idea what we're going to do the rest of the evening. That is the flat out truth. I have no idea what we're going to do next. But while I'm in the next music break, I'll figure out what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, why don't you get that article that I sent you ready?
Okay.
And play 3 songs instead of 2.
Okay.
And that way I can grab these Metallica pieces and send those over.
All right, that's fine.
That'll take us to the halfway point of the show.
All right, there you go. All right, well, I'm going to play something from Gotthard.
All right.
Swedish band Gotthard.
Cool.
And we'll take a call real quick before that. Hang on. Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, boys. Lou from the Lou.
What's up, Lou?
Boy, hey, Chris, man, if you found AOC's stupidity to make her fuckable, then she must be the most fuckable woman on the face of the earth right now to you.
She's pretty. I would love to fuck those big fucking bouncy tits of hers.
Do you want to fuck her from the college days when she's dancing around doing the Breakfast Club dance, or do you want to fuck her now?
Oh, I just want to fuck
no,
her
I don't.
right
I
now.
don't mean you, Lou. I'm talking to Chris.
Oh, sorry.
Either or.
Well, I mean, do you find her more attractive because she was kind of like a fun, carefree-looking girl in that little dance thing she did, or could you look at her from the State of the Union address with that sourpuss hard-ass look on her face?
See, here's the thing, Neely. I think that the girl, I love the video of her bouncing around on the rooftop. I love that video.
Yeah, because she's kind of fun and carefree and just kind of, she looks like she might be a fun chick.
Yeah. That being said, I think she still is. She's just playing her role in Washington.
So she's a fake.
Of course.
Okay. So what were you going to say, Lou?
Oh, I was going to say, man, I'd fuck her so hard, I'd have her eyeballs pop out the rest of her head.
Well, they already pop out as it is, Lou. I mean, if you fuck her
they're
anymore...
halfway. I mean, they're halfway. I just have them go completely blow all the way out. I mean, especially now that she's going to save the world from cow farts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I stay up at night sleepless about, is fucking cow farts.
Yeah.
That is the greatest danger and threat to America.
Yes,
fucking
it is.
Cows.
That's right. Cow flatulence.
Yes. I mean, Jesus, you don't know how many sleepless nights I've spent with that.
Uh-huh.
I just, Jesus Christ. And then the whole fucking air going to eliminate all of the air travel. So, how are we supposed to get to fucking Hawaii if you ever want to go there?
Well, again, Lou, there's no rationale behind a leftist mindset, so you just got to kind of ignore it. Next time the voting cycle comes up, do your best to vote those type of people out into oblivion.
Well, it's it's kind of hard to ignore when there's enough stupid people out there that fucking believe in this shit.
No, there's not. There's not
know.
a lot of people believing in AOC.
Well,
Don't
she got
believe
elected.
the media. Do not believe the media. There's
Well,
not a lot of people that are believing her bullshit.
Well, I wish I could be in the same boat with you there, man. But this bitch got elected. I mean, somebody elected the bitch. But all right, I'm fucking flaming out here. I'm crashing like the Hindenburg. Hail and kill, fuck you, pals, and hand job.
All right, there goes Lou.
Look at that picture in the chat room.
Let me
That's
take a
fuckable-
look.
That's a fuckable girl there.
Well, that was from the video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, the video, she's just kind of a bouncing around, young, happy-go-lucky, fun-looking chick. But boy, to see her in her capacity as a representative, it's just like, boy, you talk about a stone hard look.
Yeah, but you get her back to her apartment and she puts on that shirt and those titties are fucking stretching university. It's like, fuck, yeah. Jump up and down.
She would have made a good juggy on the Man Show before Jimmy Kimmel became such a faggot.
Yeah, she would have. I mean, she doesn't have big tits, but they're great. You don't think those are great tits?
I'm not arguing that.
Yeah, what's his name? Assfire in the chat room says, she doesn't have good tits. What are you, fucking nuts? Those are great tits.
All right, well, since we're talking about Assfire, let's play some Gotthard with some fire dance. That's what your girl is doing, her fire dance.
Yes, she is.
All right. Well, here it is. It's Gotthard exclusively here
on your classic metal show.
Hello, everyone. You know what time it is? It's time for good rock music. This is Steve Lee from Gotthard. You're listening to Chris and Neely on Classic Metal Show. Let it rock.